Awesome. All right, let's get started. So we had a request maybe to do some things for the lower back. So yeah, I think we will focus on that a little bit today. There's lots and lots and lots and lots of things you can do for the lower back, because there's lots of different things that feed into that. But we'll sort of explore a range of different exercises and that can be helpful for that and how they work together. So we'll start just by general loosening up. So if we put our hands together and we will just do some joint rotations through the major joints to get things moving, to help us to tune into our body. And then we'll go the other way. Moving out to the elbows. And then the other way. Okay, the shoulder. Big circles from your shoulder. And the other way. Okay, the other arm, big circles. And the other way. All right, the waist. And the other way. Moving to the knees. Feet together, bending your knees, making circles with your knees. And the other way. Moving to the ankles. And the other way. Other ankle. And the other way. The neck, so tilting forwards and back and forwards and back and forwards and back to one side and the other side, one side and the other side, one side and the other side. And lowering your hands and just swinging side to side, twisting your whole body nice and loose and relaxed, freeing up the whole spine. And coming back to the center, we'll take a few moments just to tune into our body, tune into our breath, tune into our energy. So putting your feet shoulder apart, sinking your weight down, back straight and long, neck long, shoulders open and relaxed, and tune into the sensations of your body. Excuse me. So see if you can be aware of your feet and your ankles and your lower legs and your knees and your thighs and your pelvis and your abdomen and your chest and back, your shoulders, your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms, your hands, your neck, your head. See if you can be aware of your whole body. You've probably heard the saying, where the attention goes, the energy flows. So by putting our attention into our body, we bring our awareness and we bring our energy into our body. By being aware of every part of our body, we help to open up the flow of energy so it can go to every part of our body. And maintaining this awareness of our body, also tune into your breath. Feel the movement of your breath through your body. As you breathe in, feel your body expand and rise just a little. As you breathe out, feel your body contract and sink just a little. Deep, relaxed breaths, feeling the expansion and contraction of your body, the movement of the breath through your body. And the breath is one of the main pumps of the chi, or the energy. And so maybe just standing here, aware and breathing, you might start to be more aware of your energy and start to feel it moving and stirring inside your body. So we're going to start with some general movements to generally wake up the energy through our spine before looking more specifically at the lower back. So the first one, really simple, we're going to come up off our heels, and we're going to bounce on our heels. So we're just bouncing up and down, nice and gently. So our heels come off the ground and then they drop back down onto the ground. And you can make this as gentle or as vigorous as you like, as feels good to you today. Just bouncing up and down, up and down. And as you bounce up and down, we feel a releasing, a dropping down to the earth. We're becoming very strongly connected to the earth. And at the same time, as we drop downwards, we release downwards, it creates a stimulation upwards, up particularly through the bones. So we're dropping down into the earth, connecting to the earth, and at the same time, we stimulate up through our bones. It comes up from our heels, up through our legs, up through our spine, right through our skeletal system, activating the energy in our skeletal system. So just breathe nice and relaxed. We won't do too much of this. It's a simple exercise, but it can get a bit tough on the legs if you do too much of it, if you're not used to it. We'll bounce for just a little bit longer, releasing and also activating at the same time. Okay, leaving your heels on the ground, bringing your hands together in front of your body. Breathe in, raising your hands all the way up. Breathe out, lowering all the way down. So we breathe in, raising up. Breathe out, lowering down. Breathe in. So this simple movement helps us to continue. Breathe out, to send our energy down deep into the earth. Breathe in, while also lifting and extending it up. Breathe out. It also starts us. Breathe in, balancing left and right, focusing our energy through our central line. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. This time as you breathe in, bring your hands up just in front of your chest. We'll step our feet close together. Sink your knees. Move your hips across to one side. Turn your shoulders to the other side. And we're going to extend our hands out to the side. Then we turn our hands over. And it comes back across the other side. The hips and shoulders just move naturally as you do this. We turn our hands over. We come back across to the other side. And we get a sinuous stimulation side to side through our whole body, but specifically through our spine. You can probably feel the sort of snaking movement through the spine, loosening up parts of the spine. To the other side. And to the other side. And we're going to descend down lower. So each time now as we go to the side, sink down a little bit lower, and a little bit lower, and a little bit lower, a little bit lower. Eventually your body won't want to sink anymore, so just sink your hands. Bring your hands right down just above the ground. And then we're going to start to bring them back up. So slowly, slowly, slowly coming back up. And coming all the way up. And then lowering your hands back down in front of your chest. Step your feet back out to shoulder width apart. Bring your hands around behind your back and place them into your lower back. And we're just going to stand and we're going to breathe for a few breaths, a few moments. And hopefully those exercises that we've done so far have started to activate your energy, stimulating your energy so that naturally now some of your energy is flowing to your hands. And you might be able to feel that energy from your hands going into your kidneys on either side of your back, of your lower back. So as we breathe, send energy from your hands into your lower back, warming up the kidneys. The kidneys then support the spine and particularly the lower back. So full relaxed breaths, sending energy through your hands to nurture your kidneys. Now we're going to start to massage. So massaging the circular motion in your lower back, further strengthening, activating and relaxing the kidneys. And of course the other tissues around them in the lower back. And the other way, so making circles the other way. And releasing your hands down. So the first movement we're going to do is Black Tiger straightens its waist, and it focuses specifically into the lower back to help to correct any misalignments through there. We're going to start really gently with this one, and you can go further into it if you like, or you can stay at the level that we begin. So the first part of this exercise, we want to have our legs straight and our back straight and our arms straight as we reach forwards. We're just going to reach a small distance forwards. Bring our hands together, clasp the fingers, keep your legs straight, back straight, and arms straight. As you stand up, bring your arms up to shoulder height, and then we'll release. So we're going to do this again. Legs straight, back straight, arms straight, reach forwards. Just a little ways, clasp your hands together, keep your legs back and arms straight as you come up, and you lift your arms up just to shoulder height, and release. So again, reach forwards, everything straight, clasp, stand up, raising the arms to shoulder height. And as you raise your arms up to shoulder height, you might feel like there's a little pulling either side of your spine. We'll release. This is what we're after, a little pulling out to each side, straightening the waist. So reach forwards, everything straight, just folding at the hinges, but otherwise straight. Coming up, feel that pull either side of the lower back, release. So we'll breathe in as we come down, just a little ways. If you want to start going further, you're welcome to go further, but keep everything straight. Breathe out, keeping everything straight as you come up to shoulder height, and release. Good, everything straight. Reach forwards. Again, just go as far as is comfortable for you. Don't feel you have to go all the way down. If you want to go further, you're welcome to. Clasp your hands together. Breathe out. Up to shoulder height. And release. I'm going to do a few more. Breathe in, everything straight as we come down. Breathe out. Coming up to shoulder height with everything straight. And then we release. We release all of the straightness. We become floppy. Okay, everything straight. Breathe in. Reaching down. Clasp your hands together. Breathe out. Coming up. Feel that pulling either side of your spine and the lower back. Breathe out. Release. Again. Breathe in. Reach down. Breathe out. Coming up, feel that pulling either side of the spine. Breathe out. Release. You might even start to feel this area in your lower back start to get a little bit warm from the stretching, the pulling activity. Breathe in. Again, reaching forwards. Breathe out. Come up. And release. Let it all go. 2 more. Everything straight. Breathe in. Reach down. Everything straight. Clasp your hands together. Breathe out. Up to shoulder height. Release. Let everything go. Breathe in. Last one. Everything straight as we come down. Breathe in. Clasp your hands together. Breathe out. Up to shoulder height. And release. Okay, from here, we're going to place our hands into our lower back. So fingers pointing down. And very simply, we're going to breathe in, and then we're going to breathe out, leaning backwards. Breathe in, coming back up. Breathe out, leaning backwards. Now, as we lean backwards, just go as far as is comfortable for you. Breathe in, coming back up. Also important, breathe out. As we lean backwards, let your knees bend and let your pelvis come forwards. We're not just leaning the back backwards, we're extending the pelvis forwards. Breathe in as we come back up. So as we breathe out, the pelvis swings forwards, the knees bend. Our hands support our lower back. And we breathe in, come back up. Breathe out, backwards. See if you can release into the stretch, supporting your lower back with your hands, pelvis coming forwards. Breathe in, come back up. Breathe out. We really want the pelvis to come forwards because this moves some of the force into the glutes, not just into the back. Breathe in, coming up. Breathe out, going back. Release into it if you can. Breathe in, coming back up. We're going to do one more. Breathe out. And breathe in. So now we're going to put those 2 phases together. Again, only go as far as is comfortable for you. Only reach down as far as you want to. Only lean back as far as feels good to you. So we breathe in, reach forwards. Everything straight. Breathe out. Come up. Arms to shoulder height. Breathe in. Let it all release. Place your hands into your lower back. Breathe out. Lean back. Breathe in. Come up and forwards. Breathe out. Everything straight as we come up to shoulder height. Breathe in. Release. Swinging your arms back. Place your hands into your lower back. Breathe out. Arch backwards. Bend your knees. Let your pelvis come forwards. Breathe in. Come forwards. Everything straight as we come forwards. Breathe out. Come up to shoulder height. Breathe in. Let it all go. Place your hands into your back. Breathe out. Bend your knees. Pelvis comes forwards. Release backwards. Breathe in. Come forwards. Everything straight as we come forwards. Breathe out. Come up. Breathe in. Release. Let everything bend. Breathe out. Knees bend. Pelvis comes forwards. Release. Backwards. Breathe in. Come up. Forwards. Everything straight as we reach down. Breathe out. Come up to shoulder height. Breathe in, release. And breathe out. Straighten out, or rather arch out, reach back. Breathe in, last one. Coming forwards, everything straight as we come down, just where it's comfortable for you. Breathe out, coming up straight, arms to shoulder height. Breathe in, bend the knees, let it all go. Breathe out, pelvis comes forwards and arch the back. Breathe in to the center and release. Next one, stepping your feet out wide. We're going to place our hands on our knees. And ideally the thumbs are on the inside of the knee and our fingers are on the outside of the knee. This is what we're after. And we want to really take the weight through our arms. Yeah. So we want to, as we do this, we want to have a feeling like our pelvis is hanging down. And so there's lengthening through our lower back. There's like a, straight away, just as we do this, there's like a little stretch through our lower back, simply because we're taking the weight through our arms and letting it hang. So we're just going to stand here for a few breaths and simply breathe in this position while feeling that stretch through our lower back. If you want to, you can move your hips around a little bit and so on, just loosening through this area. Or you can just stand and breathe and feel the breath stretch and open through those muscles on either side of your lower back. So as you breathe in, feel them lengthen. And then as you breathe out, feel them relax back in. So breathe in, feel them lengthen through the lower back. And breathe out, relax back in. So keep on with this for a few more breaths. Again, feel free to move around if you like to help to loosen up those muscles either side of the lower back, or feel free just to stand and let them hang. We're creating a little traction through the lower back and letting our breath help to release those muscles either side of the lower back. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our shoulder. So you can pick which shoulder, but one shoulder is going to come forwards and down. The other shoulder is going to go back. We're going to turn our head to the side and we're going to push off the knee that is that the shoulder is down on. Now we're going to come back to the center and we're going to push off the other knee. So again, we're using this to stretch through each side of the lower back. Come back to the center, turn, push off the other leg. Feel that stretch, that gentle stretch, opening. Keep breathing deep, relaxed breath, stretching, opening through the muscles on one side of the lower back. We come back to the center. We push off to the other side, stretching, opening the muscles on the other side of the lower back. Come back to the center, through to the other side. Push off your knee, support off your knees on both sides, but you're pushing on one side to really open up through one side of those muscles. And then we come back to the other side, stretching through, opening up those muscles. Keep breathing deep, relaxed breaths. Okay, coming back to the center. Some of you can probably guess what's coming next. we're going to do bending the body and swinging the head. So do this, we're going to go really slowly to begin with so that you can explore the range of motion, particularly if you do have a sore back, and just do it gently with a lot of control so you don't strain anything in this. Just go as far as feels comfortable to you. So we're not going to coordinate our breath with the movement to begin with, because we're going to go really slowly through it. So we're going to, basically the aim is to make a big circle with our head. So we're going to bring our head across to one side as far as we can. And then we're going to lower our head down. As we come towards the bottom of the circle, let your neck swing. Your neck actually creates some of the traction through the spine, starting to come back out the other side. Head as far out to that side as you can. And then we come all the way back up. Good. We're going to go really slowly across the other side again, just breathing naturally as we do this. Nice, deep, full breaths, but make as large a circle as you can with your head coming as far to the side as you can. Let your neck swing. Let it hang down at the bottom of the circle. Bring your head out wide to the other side and all the way out. We're going to do a few more of these really slowly. So really slowly out to one side. See, so we're making the big circle with our head, but see if you can feel the stretching, the opening, the loosening through your lower back as you do this. Gently, gently opening the muscles all the way through one side of the lower back, and then the other side engaging as we come back up to the top. We'll go to the other side. Keep supporting your body on your arms. This is what lets you release and open up those muscles in your lower back, is by having a lot of the weight taken off them and going through your arms directly into your knees. It lets you stretch through your lower back. Come back up to the center. Okay, once more to each side, really slowly. So opening out, slowly, slowly, slowly. Bring your head as far to one side as you can. Opening up through the side of the spine. Letting the head hang and swing at the bottom. Slowly coming up wide to the other side. Feel those muscles open in the lower back. Coming back up to the top. Let's go the other way. Big, wide open. Opening the lower back. Support yourself through your arms into your knees. Let your head hang and swing as you come down through the bottom, opening up wide to the other side and coming up to the top. If your back is feeling extra sensitive, for this next part, you may just want to stand and continue to breathe in this position, or you might want to keep going really slowly like we just did. Or we're going to go, if you feel up to it, we're going to go a little bit faster in time with our breath. So we're going to do a full circle breathing in and a full circle breathing out. So we'll breathe in, circling to one side, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more in this direction. Breathe in. Take your weight with your arms as you move through the circle. And breathe out, going the other way. Taking your weight, supporting with your arms, helping the lower back to release. We're now going to breathe into the other side. Breathe in, circling to the other side. And breathe out. Breathe in, big circle. All the way back up to the top. Breathe out. taking your weight through your arms, letting the lower back have a traction to release it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. And breathe out. Okay, straightening back up, bringing your feet back in to a nice, comfortable shoulder width apart. We're just going to bring our hands onto our lower dantian. And let the energy settle in our center. We're going to finish with a little bit of lightening in case we've built up any tension that we're holding up somewhere high in our body. And then some self-massage to balance everything out. So breathe in, lifting your hands up high. Breathe out, drop down. Breathe in, lift your hands up. Breathe up, drop down. Breathe in, breathe out, releasing any tension that you might have held. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Two more, breathe in, breathe out. Last one, breathe in and out. Stand for just a few moments. Aware of your body, aware of your breath. And we want to feel a wash of energy descending down over us. So like standing in a gentle rain, we feel the energy washing down over our whole body, releasing any tensions, refreshing and renewing as it passes through. Bring your hands into your lower back. We're going to massage, making some circles there again. Oh, as you do this, see, does it feel any different now than it did at the beginning when you were doing this? Does it maybe feel like it has freed up a little bit? Maybe it's moving a little bit more freely. Maybe some of the tension, some of the dullness might have dissipated from this area. Now we'll pat down the back, outside of our legs, up the front, inside of the legs, front of the body, out the inside of one arm, up the back of the arm, out the inside of the other arm, up the back of the arm, over our face, over our head, over our neck, patting down the back, down the legs again, all the way to the feet, up the inside of the legs, out the inside of one arm, up the back of the arm, out the other arm, over your face, over your head, over your neck. We're going to go once more, all the way around. Over your head, over your neck, and stopping at the waist. Bring your hands back in front. And we'll just let the energy settle. Okay. Let's bring this chair back. We will have a little chat, see if anyone has any questions or comments or observations or anything like that. I'll make a few comments first. So we just focused on a very few exercises there. We started with some general exercises to wake up the energy through the bones, through the spine, specifically to wake the spine up. And then we moved to some exercises that they're useful for a number of things, but specifically they do focus into the lower back. There are others, of course, there are many others that work in the lower back. As I mentioned right at the start of the session, there's a whole lot in the Waking the Chi series, which is really good for the lower back. But we chose a couple that have a specific focus on the lower back. And in particular, one of the things we use a lot for the lower back is forwards and backwards bending. And the first exercise we did was a variation of black tiger straightens its waist, which is for the water element and for the bladder. And of course, the bladder meridian runs right down either side of the spine. And so of course it has a big effect on the lower back. And that exercise in particular, with bringing the arms together and up and supporting the back, is really good for opening up and getting energy to flow through the lower back, and particularly to help to line it up if it's fallen off to one side. Then the other exercise we did was bending the body and swinging the head. Sometimes it goes by some other names as well. And this one we often use for the large intestine, which is part of the metal element. And again, the large intestine sits down here in the abdomen, and so has a strong relationship to the nerves in the lower back. If we're tense in our intestine, that tension affects the nerves, which then goes through and affects the muscles around the lower back, and vice versa. The muscles in the lower back, when they get tense, it affects the large intestine and the metal element. It's interesting, if you understand a little bit about the 5-element theory, or the 5, sometimes it's referred to 5 elements. Less commonly, it's referred to as 5 phases. The elements are chosen as representative of the phases. The phases are even more general and broader than the concept of elements. And so it's the idea that there are natural cycles in life. There's cycles of rising and expanding and contracting and sinking. This is part of just what happens throughout life, throughout the universe. And it's interesting that these elements, water and metal, both have, they affect lots of things. It's, very sophisticated, rich interaction between the elements, but they both have a specific relationship to the lower back. And one of them is because water is the lowest of the elements, it's the most yin, and water starts the process of rising. And so it's very much the water energy that rises up through the spine, that comes from the base of the spine and comes up through there. And so because of that, there's a very specific relationship to the lower back. The metal element is the one that descends. And so, and of course, in terms of the large intestine, so the water kind of kicks things off, rising up. Metal finishes things off, the process of then emptying out. You think of the process, the large intestine, that's the last part of the process, emptying things out when it's no longer needed. So interesting, the harmony between those two. And of course, metal feeds into water. We also, within what we did, and there's some other things that are relevant to this, of course, as I mentioned, there's many exercises that focus on the lower back in different ways. When we were doing the bouncing on our heels at the beginning, that specifically works on the earth element, the grounding, but also the water element at the same time. It creates a rise within. So the earth element controls water and the metal element feeds water, and the three work in harmony to then affect the lower back. All right, that's probably enough rambling on for me with some details for you. I will allow people to unmute themselves in case anyone, you're welcome to just put things in the written chat. Sometimes that's good, but if someone has something they want to say as well, that's cool. So Jurian says, that was fantastic. I will bookmark the recording to come back to more often. Thanks a million. Hopefully it was Jurian who asked about maybe some things for the lower back. So how did that make your lower back feel, Jurian? If you have any comments on how that felt doing those.
Yes.
Feels
it is
better
much more relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what I also found,
because we did work.
Yeah, you go first.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. Well, what I really found interesting also was to explore back tiger stretches its back, and the other one, the swinging the head one, because of course they come back in the 12 rivers as well. And it was also nice to sort of feel, because sometimes I'm a little bit scared to do them because my back. And now this gives a really good way to explore it and also to feel it much better what it actually does. So yeah.
Good, great. Because what I was going to say is, because we did actually work quite strongly into the lower back. These are exercises that work with the lower back in quite a strong way, but we did it by going into it gently, step by step, so that hopefully it was very doable. Even if your back was stiff and sore, by working into it little by little, it makes it doable so that you can then get the benefit of those strong exercises. And so if you need to at any time, you can choose to do them more gently. You can choose to break them down a little bit more if your back is feeling sensitive, and only do a stronger version of the exercise when you feel ready for it. So Stuart said, the lightning exercise felt like a great transition, and welcome to. My lower back felt strong and stable by the end. Great. Yeah, so the lightning, there's a lot, there's lots of aspects to all of these different exercises, but great for that release of energy downwards, to release tensions if you have built them up. It's really good for that. All right, any other questions, comments, observations, anything like that? Nope, that's okay. We don't have to. This is just an opportunity if anything does come to anyone's mind. I hope you enjoyed the session today. Oh, you do have something there, Janice?
Yeah. I find it difficult when I'm putting my hands behind my back to put them the right way.
Yes.
I mean, put my backs of my hands would be great, but the front of them, it's not comfortable.
Right, and so this is a mobility through the shoulders and through the back, basically. So it's actually a really good thing to work on. But if you can't reach all the way behind your back easily with your hands, if you can only go with the backs of your hands, you will still get some benefit from that. So you can modify it in that way if you need to, but that would be a good simple thing for you to work on little by little, because it will help to open up through the back, and it will also help to open up through the shoulders as you work on that. But you can do it the best way you can. If it's the backs of your hands you can do, that's fine to begin with.
Thank you.
Okay, so good. Did you have something else on that, Janice?
No, but while we're talking about it, shoulders would be a good one to work on, because I get a lot of stiff.
Okay.
Shoulders don't move.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, yeah, maybe we can do a session where we focus a bit on shoulders. All right, let's see. So Jonathan says, my favorite class yet. Good. During general question, where can I read your blog post? So if you go on to longwhitecloudqigong.com, and somewhere across the menu at the top, I think it might say news and articles or something like that. And you click on there, and you'll get a whole list of them. If you're looking for a particular topic, again, if you go onto the website, and I don't know if it's on the homepage, but certainly if you go onto the news and articles, or the blog page, up on the top right hand corner of the page, there's a search box, so you can put in a keyword and see what comes up, and maybe there'll be an article that's related to that. So Denise, thanks, that was very interesting. Jonathan's posted a YouTube link. I'm not sure. Oh, is this for the vlogs, is it? I'm thinking, I wonder
Yeah,
what
that's
for.
the Q
I see
Live
it's a channel.
YouTube channel.
Qigong. Yeah, so I don't always, there's often some crossover between the vlogs, the video ones, and then in the written ones, but they're not always the same. Sometimes I cover different topics in a written context and different ones in video. So it's worth looking at both, and particularly if there's a particular topic that you're interested in. All right, well, look, thanks for coming along, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on another one soon.